Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm actually super stoked to have you guys here and to talk about what I want to share, which is that a couple days ago, I hit 250 days straight on Duolingo. That's 250 days of effort, of work, of fun. Like, it is probably one of the longest continuous activities that I have done in a very long time, besides breathing, sleeping and waking up, and other things I need to do every day. But it's fantastic and it's amazing, and it's a good feeling to have set a goal and to follow through with it. So as you can see from the title, it was 250 days of Dutch. It's very exciting for me for a number of reasons. When I was a little kid, I believe I was 8 or 9, we had an exchange student who came and lived with us from the Netherlands. And she had a huge impact on my life. I've actually considered her to be my sister for pretty much the entirety of my life because of the influence and just how much I adore and love her. But ever since then, I've had like a little bit of Dutch culture as a part of my upbringing, which is kind of cool. Like, I grew up in a very small rural community, and most people have been in the United States, for quite some time, unless you come from south of the border from Latin America. My connection to the Netherlands was just that short time with our exchange student and kind of like the things that I remember of her and about her and the gifts she gave us. Like, I literally had like Efteling stuff. If you don't know what Efteling is, you gotta go check it out. It is a amusement park from the Netherlands. It's got all these characters and cool stuff. I had like a mix and match from there. I had some glasses from there, even I think had a shirt at one time. Certain things from the Netherlands have been a part of my childhood. And so when I decided after going on a trip that I was going to learn Dutch, so when I went back I could communicate better with the people in the Netherlands, but also so I could communicate better with the exchange student and her family, it was something that I was like, that's what I'm going to do. It clicked, and it actually like set me off on like the right path so that I could do, these 250 days for myself, but also to have a better experience next time I go to the Netherlands. We went for 5 days total, but one of those days was travel, so we just had 4 days. It was a super quick trip because I got such crazy flights to the Netherlands. Like, I don't ever think I can get the same flights again, but like the cost of those flights was just ridiculous. But when we went, we stayed in Amsterdam. We didn't stay like downtown in the busier parts. We actually stayed just a few canals away per se. We actually slept on a house. You walk right out and it was on a canal, but it wasn't like in a busy downtown. And it was super cool because we could just walk a couple of streets this way, walk a couple of streets that way. And it was amazing. And what was weird is like when I was there, I weirdly blended in with everyone, which was kind of fun. Like, a lot of people would just casually start speaking Dutch to me, or when I would say, oh sorry, just English, they were like, oh, they were like kind of surprised. And so our 2019 visit was awesome. We went to Amsterdam, we went to The Hague, we went down to Eindhoven, we visited the Anne Frank house when we were in Amsterdam. We also visited just a lot of random cool places. We kind of just wandered, really. We didn't get on the bikes. We actually went at the end of October, beginning of November. So it wasn't really the best for biking, but don't tell an Amsterdam or a Dutch person that they bike what seems like year round. But anyhow, my 2019 visit was amazing. It was a short time, and it was like dipping your toe in the water before diving in, the experience. And I just had such a blast going back there that I knew I wanted to go again, and I needed to go back with a little bit more information, not only about the country itself, but also about the language, so that for the most part I could get around without feeling confused. Like, Google Maps works wonders. Most people from the Netherlands, I think everyone speaks English as well, so it's really easy. But I feel like it's more fun to travel more like a local. Like, that's my experience having traveled to the Philippines, living there for a period of time and learning Tagalog. And it was way fun, and I would love to go back to the Philippines again for a longer period and just re-immerse myself in the culture. And so that's my plan, to do so as well with the Netherlands, and to really get to test my feet in the waters of Dutch. I'm at 250 days, but my actual goal is to study Dutch every day until I go back to the Netherlands. Like, Duolingo is a great reference, and I think it's a great tool to kind of learn vocabulary, to kind of understand like the context of things, and to just pick up what you need to. But I think that there is so much more I can learn. And so when I sat down and figured out the goal, I said, I'm gonna do every day from now until I go back on Dutch, no matter how hard it is. Like sometimes I only sneak in like 1 or 2 lessons, like they can be like 3 to 5 minutes, right? And other times I can spend an hour or two and like I'm writing down vocabulary words, I'm like doing everything I need to do just so I can remember the information, right? Like it's challenging. What I've been enjoying is actually like following through with the goal. Like every day it's gotten easier because it's just become a part of my routine. And so it feels unnatural when I'm like near the end of my day and Duolingo's like sending me messages like, hey, you're missing out on your Dutch. And I'm always like, oh crap, I better learn more. So it's tons of fun. But with setting a goal, you just have to be aware, only set a goal that you can achieve, right? You want a goal that will help you grow, right? But don't burn yourself out too fast, which is what I've done in the past when I was trying to like relearn Spanish. And so I've broken this up into more bite-sized chunks because I'm like, until the next time I go, I'm not saying I have 12 weeks to learn it. I'm saying I have time, I can take my time and learn, and it's made it a lot easier for me. I don't know what it's gonna do for you. What am I using to learn Dutch? As you can tell from the title of this and what I mentioned before, Duolingo is a really quick and easy way to do it, but I've also picked up stuff like this, you know, like a quick like phrase book, which is super cool. I think it gives you enough context that you can look into things. It makes so much sense to have kind of the where you might be using this, the why you might be using this, and as you progress, it works. I also picked up a language learning course from Bright Trip, which I have only done about 33%, so I've gotten through kind of the introduction, the reasoning why you'd want to learn it, and then it's just starting into how the 2 presenters are doing it. Nathaniel Drew and Johnny Harris are the presenters, and they do a fantastic job of kind of explaining their desire and mission to learn languages and the experience that they feel like it's giving them. But another thing that I do is I utilize the old friend YouTube, which you are presumably watching this on now. YouTube is great and it's a wonderful asset. I love to listen to music in the language I would like to learn with captions, but also I have them on my phone to listen to if I'm ever like walking the dogs, riding my bike, or working out. I can just listen to the tunes, and it's cool because you can pick out the words that you know, and so you can gain context, and then if there's like a phrase you remember, you like kind of like pick that up, and it kind of like becomes like a repeat. Like if you have a regular song on the radio that you like can't get like 2 sentences out of your head, I have that with a couple of Dutch songs that I've been listening to, and I'll be honest with you, most of the time I'm just like because I don't know the entire phrase, but I'm trying to get it to work, right? Also, I watch like Dutch stuff on YouTube, like any like TV series I can find, any kind of YouTubers or vloggers I can find. That kind of helps as well. It's just kind of like a good way to immerse myself into the language. Anyhow, I hope those kind of ways made sense. So, current progress, right? I'm a little over 250 days. I am not quite confident in all of my Dutch. Like, speaking Dutch verbally, I probably sound terrible. Like, my pronunciation is awful. And so I have a lot of like anxiety, or like I just don't have the confidence, I guess, about like speaking up and like testing out my Dutch. So I'm not gonna sit here at this episode and tell you that like I'm great at Dutch, like I'm fluent or anything like that, because I'm not. The last time I learned a language and like was fully immersed in it actually took me about 10 months. My progress, I would say, is I can read a lot. I picked up an audiobook that I really enjoyed, which is The Secret Diary of Henrik Groen, and I picked it up in English and Dutch so I could listen to them side by side. And like I said, I'm listening to a lot of YouTube. I'm starting to immerse myself more in listening to like conversations. So sometimes like I just turn on a YouTube video in Dutch and I just let it play and I just pick up what I can. If I find a section or a phrase, I'll go back to it and I'll like rewatch it to see if I can get more context. But that's kind of the progress right now. I'm hoping to do another video in like 3 to 6 months and actually speak some Dutch, but right now I'm a little bit shy, you know, I'm like, oh, can't see that, but it'll be fun to see where I'm at. But anyhow, thank you so much for tuning in again and listening to me rant. I hope to give a little update in the next few months and hopefully actually speak some Dutch that sounds, you know, cohesive and understandable and intelligible to a Dutch speaker. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.